everyone, and welcome to day 30 of Self-Love Challenge. Today's topic is what labels, positive or negative, do you assign yourself? And I welcome all of you. Today we have a lot of panelists that are ready to share their stories and testimony. I will be your host for today. I am Antonella, and I'm very curious. Shihu, which labels, positive or negative, do you assign to yourself and in your life?
Um, well, for the positive ones, I think I'm very resilient. I'm strong, and I very much I label myself as an intersectional feminist, and that means that I think all women should be awarded the same opportunities, and that the women with the privilege and equality in other parts of the world should think of women, for example, in developing countries who might not have as much freedom, privilege, and opportunity. I wouldn't say that I assign myself negative labels, but I can say one thing that some people might think might be negative, and it's usually misunderstood, and that's if somebody says they're introverted, which I am. People think that that's shy or not confident, but that's not really the meaning of an introvert. An introvert is somebody who channels their energy inwards, and that's me. I'm introverted, and in terms of what I'd like to do with it is maybe sometimes be more open to channel my energy outwards as well. So be more social, and especially with my friends and my family.
Oh,
Thanks.
that's great. And you mentioned very good examples of solidarity. Feel free to comment on what Shiku said. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good to always think that if you have a privilege among certain people, you should use it to help them. Don't think of it as an attack on yourself. Just think that those people also need help and they might be in a worse position than you are. So that's a good thing to have, especially to think about.
Okay, Jamila, since you are the one who is speaking, now we are curious to hear about you.
I'm very caring, and I always feel like I need to, check up on my friends, even if they don't have the same, they don't retaliate, but like I just seem to always want to check up on my friends. I'm caring. I like to listen to people. When I listen, it's a great way to help as well. You don't always have to have a conversation. And I also think that I have a strong will when it comes to fighting for people who are not treated on the same level as certain people in society. Like, for example, the story about George Floyd, I have been fighting, I've been putting up posts and stuff because I just find it so wrong. And I also want people to know that it's not just in America that it happens. And one of my negatives, I think it would have to be that I come off aggressive, even though I'm really like not. Close family members know that I smile a lot. Like, they're always like, your teeth are so white. I'm like, yeah, because I'm always like smiling. But other outsiders usually think that I'm like this uptight, aggressive, but it's just I don't really like to let loads of people in, because sometimes letting loads of people in I don't think is a good thing. So, but I need to try and open up, especially with my new steps in life in the future.
Yeah, no one is perfect, so don't blame yourself too much. It's important that you recognize still your rebel. It's a first step. And now we are going to move on with Lou.
So I believe for me the positive label is I'm empathic with my friend, my family. I try to understand people, even if it's awkward or if it's people that I'm not in a good mood with them. I will try to be empathic. And I'm independent. I like to do everything by my own. But I believe my worst point in my character is I'm not really patient. So I have to try to calm me down and be more patient. Sometimes it's hard, but I understand that I'm not, so I have to change that. But yeah, I believe the first step is to understand what you have to change sometimes.
Yeah, I guess that we as young people, myself included, we share the same problems. Like also Jamila said, aggressiveness, lack of calmness. We tend more easily to lose control. But for the people that will watch this video, it's important that you follow our example. So we recognize that we are not perfect and we must also be politer, especially with the people that we love most, caring, self-efficacy. And we can learn from you adults of this meeting. It's very diverse, these lots of panelists. And that's why we are going now to move on with Shiro. Shiro, which labels, positive or negative, do you assign yourself?
I think I should start with what I think is negative. And for me, what I find is negative about me is I tend to very easily give in to anxiety. I fret or worry excessively over issues or matters that I have little or no control over, which is actually not a good thing, because if I'm so anxious and I can't change the situation, it will only hurt me emotionally. That's a negative for me. And what I think is positive for me is that I'm organized, and I consider myself a very compassionate person, and I'm tolerant and open-minded. I don't like judging people. I feel people can do whatever they want as long as what they do does not hurt or harm others.
Yeah, it's important also because if you have a tidy room or office or house, it also helps to declutter your mind and to feel more organized also in your daily life. Move on with Jose. Jose, which are your labels? We are so curious to hear your testimony too.
Let me start with my positive ones. My positive ones are I'm strong. I'm a strong woman, and I'm so patient. I don't really like to rush into taking decisions of anything, or even when I'm working on a project or a planning, anything that I want to put out so that people can see it. I just take my time. I'm too much into details, and I'm so helpful, caring. I'm a freedom fighter, just like Chico.
It seems that you have lots of negative and positive qualities, like all of us, but I see that all of you ladies are very conscious of yourself, your characteristics, because we are all made of good and bad sides, and it's really an example and encouraging your example of a self-efficacy woman. Anyway, now it's Imani.
So I'm gonna start with my negative labels, and one of them is that I am too hard on myself. I tend to look at my flaws and the things that I'm not happy about, instead of looking at the things that are nice about me in terms of looks and personality. But luckily I have people who try to like uplift me, saying like, why am I looking at these things? And then my positive labels is that I'm not judgmental. I always like give people a chance to get to know them, because sometimes we judge a book by its cover and then we already put them in a box of who they are, instead of talking to them, and then you get to see that they are very nice and might be very different from what you expected. And then I'll also say I'm very open-minded to like try new things, kind of adventurous and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hi everyone, I think we've lost Antonella. She's had some internet issues. She's coming in and out, so I'm just going to take over for now. And I think we were going to go to Kinder next.
About me, my positive things, it's I just want to help everyone to be happy, because I had bad experience in my life, and I don't want anyone to go through the same experience. I just try to advise everyone, just try to help everyone. I really like to see everyone really happy. I just try to do very small things just to make the people happy, and that's connection with my positive thing, with my negative things, because I can't say no to anyone. If anyone asks me about any kind of help, I can't say no, and that's make my life, it's very hard, because that's push my effect about my life, my study, my house. It's really not really good things when if anyone asks me about anything, just if to go with anyone to any place, or just sometimes I just leave my college just to help the people. I should to learn how I can say no when I can't do that. Yeah, it's not easy. Every time I say I will start to say no, because I should to have some person, something for myself. This is my study, my house, my daughter. But if anyone asks me to do anything, just okay, I will come with you. Okay, I will do that for you. Maybe I will cancel a lot of things to myself just to help the people, and I should to stop to do that. This is very negative things in my life. But in the same time, I really feel so happy when I help anyone, and just feel anyone really feel happy, or I just give advice, or just give any kind of help to anyone.
Oh, thanks, Kinda, for sharing. I think it's a good quality to want to help people. But as you've recognized yourself, you need to have a sort of balance, because you also look after yourself, and you also have a daughter that you need to look after. And if you overstretch yourself, you could end up having a burnout. You can't help anyone. So it's actually a good idea to also say no sometimes, to make sure you're looking after your own well-being and of those close to you. Thanks for sharing, Kinda. So do we have Maggie next?
Okay, my name is Maggie from Kenya. What I can say about myself, I'm a generous person. I'm generous with the information, with my time. I can give time to whoever who is needy, not only my family and friends, but anyone who is needy. I can give my time. I'm also a honest person, in that when I tell you something, I don't just lie. I hate people who lie. And if I can't be true to you, I would rather just keep quiet and tell you maybe I can't answer you now, maybe give me some time. And something which is negative about me, I'm a bit reserved or introvert, like Shiko said. And many people took it as a weakness, in that they overstepped my boundaries, because there are times I don't talk. Even if I'm hurt, even if I'm crossed, I just keep quiet. And many have took it as a weakness, in that I can't say my mind. But since I learned that time, because I'm firm too, so sometimes when I tell you something, I'm just telling you, I'm true to myself sometimes. I'll tell you what I feel, what my mind tells me to tell you. And I know how to make my boundaries, to fence my boundaries, in that I'm not a wishy-washy person. And the bad thing with that is that my boundaries, I don't select. I can even close my parents, my siblings, so long as what I think is right, I do it to myself. And that is me.
Oh, thanks, Maggie, for sharing. It seems that I think almost everyone in this panel has shared their positive quality involves, like, creating a positive impact on people, whether that's our family or our friends, or on the wide spectrum. So something about helping others. And that's great. That's you, Maggie, as well. And that you've recognized that sometimes your introversion can be mistaken for weakness. In my case, it's for not being friendly, but we know that's not true of you, Maggie, in terms of weakness. We know you're a strong person. We know you're firm. So maybe just think about, like you said, speaking out if somebody wrongs you. Instead of keeping that introversion, just speak out and let them know in a firm and loving way. So we don't have a lot of time left, and I don't know if Antonella's internet is okay now.
Sorry for before, but my internet is not working because it's coming a storm, and so the connection all the time goes and comes.
So thank you for joining us. Antonella, we know you've had some issues, which, this is the times of Zoom and WhatsApp, and we know we all struggle with the internet sometimes. So, but thank you for starting as our host. And thank you to everyone for joining. So tomorrow is the last day of this challenge, and it's been so great to have you guys every day of the week working on our personal development, reflecting on our positive qualities, reflecting on things we need to change. I think it's amazing to be able to look inwards and see what we're good at and what we can improve. So tomorrow, the topic is going forward. How can you commit to loving yourself every day? How can you commit to loving yourself every day? Would like to invite as many people as possible. Tell your friends, your relatives, anyone who can join tomorrow, even if they need someone to translate for them, it's okay. We just want people to come and just give one sentence of how they commit to loving themselves every day. We're not gonna give many stories because we're trying to get as many people as possible. Just one line saying how you commit to loving yourself every day. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, bye. Go and like.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.